It's been 5 years. Welcome, friends and viewers, to my top 15 favorite video games. I owe the games on here a lifetime of heartwarming memories. It was too tough to only choose 10, so I chose 15 instead. I've done this in the past before, and now some new games have made their way into the spotlights, and others are still going strong. Let's see which reigns supreme. Before I start, I would like to say to the newcomers here, hello and welcome to the channel. But also, I would like for them to know that I grew up with Nintendo a lot, and hence, this game may not have as much mature games than the rest. So, just a heads up. Also, a few rules before we start. As much as I love Nintendo, I can't have them take up most of the spotlights. So only 5 of my favorite Nintendo games will be shared. Not to mention that there won't be licensed games on here. So games such as Spider-Man and Epic Mickey are not able to be on here. Sorry about that. Also, this is my opinion, as obvious as that is. Okay, is that all? Alright, let's end this. Okay, so there's one more thing I wanted to say before I start. I just wanted to say thank you to Fawful305 for inspiring me to make videos on YouTube. I've been doing this for 5 years, and it's all because of you. You showed me how good games can be. You inspired me to play Pac-Man, and most of all, you've taught me that no matter what, I gotta keep going. This video is made because of you. Thank you. There's an imposter among us. This may be outdated in a couple months, but I don't care really. Simple as this may be, Among Us is one of the most simplest and advanced games at the same time. Taking elements from Terra Mafia and for it to be accessible to everyone, it's great. There are 2 sides. The crewmates, where you have to complete tasks throughout the area, and the imposters, who kill everyone and try to bring the blame to others. And like I said, while the game is so generically simple, that's what makes it so fun. It's this cause that makes it to where everyone is able to play. Meaning, people you would have never thought to play a video game might give it a shot since it's free on mobile and a simple game. And while I do get how some may not like it, I do. And that's why this is solely my opinion. Just don't call me sus, okay? Do you ever wonder what we are? Why are we here in the first place? And though some beliefs may think differently in the afterlife, it's almost as if which one is real. One game takes a perspective of that and reincarnates us into a new person every time we die. As recent as this game may be for me, it's still fun to play. I'm not a big fan of the get as far as you can games, but this is different for some reason. I feel like I'm going on my own adventure, and that's what brings the spark in this game to life. Sure, dying is bad, and I would rather prefer to just respawn at checkpoint, but this is okay by me, because as I die, I'm learning along the way, and while I may not have gotten far, this game feels great because it no longer feels like it's just a game. It's a state of mind where every single choice makes a difference, and that's why I love Dead Cells. As much as many games are quite enjoyable to play, most of them have us kill creatures, and not in self-defense entirely. While that may be a bit more exciting to do, what if we just lift off the weights and breathe into a new atmosphere? Oh yeah, Animal Crossing exists. Quarantine has never felt so relaxing. Yes, while this video may be outdated in a few years, it still stands that this game helped everyone in so many ways. New Horizons is a game that's just so relaxing, making it to where anyone can play it, whether it be fans of the series or newcomers trying it out for the first time. It boggles my mind how this game didn't win Game of the Year for 2020. Nintendo made it clear that delaying a game can make it all the more enjoyable and better to play with. And this game is such a delight to play through. Making your own island into the way you want it to be is very relaxing. And while some people may not have the patience to play through the real-time hours, they can easily time travel ahead and make progress. Sure, that's not how I played the game, but as crazy as it sounds, they can play the game however they want. Because it's all meant to be for a fun and relaxing time. This game came out at a perfect time. Just as quarantine was starting out in 2020, this game came to the rescue and helped so many people get comfortable while under lockdown. Last of Us Part 2 can go to hell! As I've stated with Dead Cells, I'm not that much into the get as far as you can games. However, I do respect them a lot, as I know many people love those style of games. But there's a certain game that people who like this genre that I played recently for the first time. That game is Risk of Rain 2. Yes, one of the more interesting games I've played recently. Risk of Rain 2 is a game about trying to improve more as you play the game. Because you will die quite a bit in this game. But the main process is landing on a planet, kill some enemies, get gold, spend that gold on chests to get upgrades on yourself, and find the teleporter and beat the boss to get to the next level. While that may seem simple, I would like to mention that as you progress further in the game, by every second, the difficulty increases, which means the enemies get tougher, which is why this game seems so addictive. Because of how hard and challenging it is, it makes me want to keep going every time, and that's why this game is on here. It holds the replayability for me to keep going. A remake of a modern classic. I may have recently gotten this game, but this is so much fun already. Originally, this spot was reserved for Xenoblade 2, but then I played 1's remake and... I'm sorry, but I'm gonna cheat now. Yep, this spotlight goes to both of my personal favorite Xenoblade games. Yeah, I know that I'm cheating, but can you really blame me? Both games are equally good to me. And, as rude as this may be, I simply can't put one game on here without the other, because Xenoblade is relatable for our purest dreams of exploration and entering a world full of wonder and heart. The games have a sense of feeling that everything matters. The characters have charm. The gameplay, while it may not be for everyone, is super for me. And, as always, the music is what gives the game feelings and life. Now, for the gameplay, it's interesting. Auto-attacking and inputting commands for the characters as they fight and roam the worlds are unique. Speaking of unique, the characters are all heartwarming special. Rex, Shulk, Ryan, Tor, Poppy, Fiora, Dunban, Pirate, Mithra, everyone is great and has special traits to them. These games may not be in the top 10, but my god, they were both something else. The power of Bionis, Mechon, Titans, and Blades are truly a master. I'm not big into sports. In fact, the only time that I would really like sports are the Olympics. And granted, those happen every 4 years, it's quite impatient to wait. I mean, I could bust out the Mario and Sonic games, but I want something that feels action-packed, on your toes, making you want to play more. So, whatever sport out there can be fun enough to play? Well, there's soccer, but what can be action-packed about soccer? Well then. Yeah, this is a little awkward. Look, I've owned this game since the day I got my Switch. But what's kept me from playing this game for so long? I actually have no clue why I put this game off for so long. Maybe it's because Fortnite collaborated with a part of it, but I've gone back recently and it's still fun as always. Look, I never liked sports that much. I was always bad at them, felt like a screw up to my team, and felt like I was never welcomed. Rocket League corrects two of these problems. Everyone is almost always online, and this is a big game I can get behind. However, like most big games that require teamwork, I'm kind of in a bad most times, hence why I love to play on rumble mode and use items to my advantage. Now, of course, this game is free to play, but that won't stop me from having a blast. Go! Exploration is something of its own. Using your senses and resources to find out how to get past a problem is rather satisfying. The Zelda series is known for its puzzles, exploration, stories, and characters. And although I love the open world of Breath of the Wild, or my nostalgia for Skyward Sword, they can be exhausting to play through. So, what's the solution? It's quite simple. You beat everything up. While I do agree that the Zelda series is far better when it comes to its puzzles and exploration, but sometimes you just want to see the characters, and maybe beat up enemies with no difficulty. And that's why Hyrule Warriors is on this list. I mean, sure, it's not your typical Zelda game, but to me it feels more than just some goofy spin-off. Rather, it's a celebration of the Zelda franchise. I mean, think about it. When will you ever see characters like Zant and Girahim team up? When will you ever see Skull Kid fight Agatha? Exactly my point. Which is why I love this game. It has the replayability, a great selection of characters, and a good heart and thought put into it. As it may only be a spin-off, it's still a spin-off that does justice to the franchise. Sometimes there are certain games that hold a special place in our hearts. Whether it be because of the game's world, the characters, or even the amazing soundtracks, it's all part of why we love those games. And sometimes, those games never seem to get re-released or even ported to current consoles. Well, why do that when you can remake them? And there's one game on here that I may not have that much nostalgia for, but its world has already had me hooked. Well, this is a surprise, but hey, who's gonna complain? Yes, Final Fantasy VII Remake is on this list. I may not have gone up with the original, but I still respect it a lot. And finally playing through the remake, I can see how the in-game world means a lot to the hearts of others. And even though this game is technically a remix of the original, I still enjoy it either way. The gameplay feels fresh and overall enjoyable to play through a lot. And from what I've heard, this game takes characters who didn't have much of a backstory and added more charming character to them, such as Jesse and Wedge. And even though I know there will be a continuation of this, I'm still gonna enjoy every second of this game. The world is full of wonder. Throughout centuries of crafting, it's funny how much we've evolved. Sure, we may be able to live life fully with the help of our modern variables. But what else is out there, waiting for us to reveal it? Well, one game helps me out with a world I would love to live in. I'd never felt more explorative than ever. Ratchet Clank helps me with a world I've dreamed about living in. I'm a sucker for space. I love studying planets, the International Space Station, and wondering what lies beyond our planet. This game resonates with me so strongly, being that it combines both space and story-based cartoon characters to life. It feels at home. Not to mention, it has some of the best gameplay I've ever experienced, along with a good story, fantastic visuals, and an astounding world. I'm glad I got introduced to this game. PlayStation, keep it up. Okay, now this is interesting. Some things are meant to be left behind. This game isn't one of them. Yes, the only Sonic game on this list holds its head high up and proudly runs into the spotlight. Sonic is by far what I feel like is Sega's proudest Sonic game to ever debut. The journey across Sonic's planet with a new game style is interesting. Mixing the classic Sonic's speed at day and new rain chaos with Hedgehog at night is one of the best gameplay styles I've ever seen. I love the feel of both the daytime speed swimming and Hedgehog hack stashes. Yes, I actually like the Hedgehog stages. They are functionally made well and are a comfort to play through. People may be wondering as to why I would defend the Hedgehog for its boring and overall exhausting gameplay. I get why people would say that. I really do. But I personally really enjoy that gameplay style. The fresh style of beating up enemies through comets and killing them in satisfying ways, it's chaotic, and I love it. The daytime stages are fun in their own way too, taking the Sonic Rush stages and putting it into the third dimension and making it fast as hell. It was the smartest move to keep the concept as a new modern style gameplay. This game tries its best and succeeds in doing so. This is the one Sonic game that speaks to me in this form. Fantastic gameplay, cinematic visuals, and a heart of pure triumph. I see it. I see it. And now, it's all within my reach. It's been a while, hasn't it? Yes, for as amazing and important Splatoon is, its sequel is even more so for me, improving the mechanics of the gameplay along with new stories through not only the original game, but the DLC of the auto expansion. While I may prefer the auto expansion over the original story, I do feel like both modes are good in their own way. Now, as for the online, it is by far the best Nintendo Switch online game to ever play. With the use of multiple weapons such as spell shots, charges, duties, and many more. Each weapon has a unique setup with both specials and subs, making you choose something to help out in the different modes. Modes such as Turf Wars, Splash Zones, Tower Control, Clampet, and my personal favorite, Rainmaker. Not to mention the rank of how you are paired with other players. Sure, it may not be the best, but it's stable enough for me to actually play the game. This game was a risk that turned out to be amazing. Ink them up! The power of hats will collide. You may have seen how much I enjoy platformers. I play Mario quite a bit, Sonic is a mixture nowadays, and many other shooters that cross the platform genre aren't nearly as good as A Hat in Time. I love the flow and overall movement of how this game feels. It took inspiration from Super Mario 64 and made open world style levels with missions to complete within them, along with a ton of collectibles to gather up and make your primary power up, hats. While you go about your day, working for the Mafia, 2 movie production companies, a soul-stealing gaming worm, a cruise with egg, then possibly create powers that cause a plague, and finally a cat that is out for blood, that's quite nice. With excellent level design, a fantastic soundtrack, and so much more. This game takes it, with the hat being worn on my head. The greatest crossover to have ever happened finally steps forth. To run from the inevitable is like running from the truth. This game was bound to make its way onto this list somehow, and after finally waiting for so long, it showed its face. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is one of the greatest games to ever exist to me. Taking every single fighter from past Smash games and piling them into one big crossover. Feels like a dream, right? Correction, it wasn't a dream. It's real. The main selling point being that everyone is here. From characters long forgotten like Pichu and Pokemon Trainer, to the ones people wanted back like Snake and Wolf, everyone is indeed home. And with the addition of DLC, makes it all the more enjoyable. Joker, Hero, Terry, Byleth, Min-Min, Sephiroth, Seed, and Banjo-Kazooie are some of the best additions we've ever gotten into Smash. Along with the newcomers that were not DLC, such as Ridley, the Belmonts, and Ken, it was really something special to finally see come true, with additions to make the game more so for competitive play, such as the option to turn off stage hazards, drugs or air dodging, and other things. Not to mention how the physics and overall look of the game is gorgeous. And over 1,000 songs with DLC? What kind of madman is Sakurai? Either way, with his history being made right in front of our eyes. And while this may be the last Smash game, let's all remember, Smash isn't just fun for its gameplay, its characters, or even its modes. Rather, it's a celebration of gaming in general, with all its fighters, spirits, and even meat costumes of flying skeletons. Smash Ultimate is more than just a game. Rather, it's a celebration of gaming's history.
Everyone is here. And everything is Ultimate Super Smash Brothers Ultimate!
It's showtime!
Took it long enough. This was not a last surprise. It took over my life and stole my heart. I looked at this list and I was thinking, where would this game go? And not 1 minute passed before I decided what was right. No other game tops this. Well, except for the final game on the list. Persona 5 is without a doubt one of the strongest games to have ever existed, and with Royal, it made the game even better. I'm not a huge fan of the JRPG genre of games, or RPGs in general, but something about Persona 5 feels like I'm at home. It may be the coincidental story, but Persona 5 speaks to me. The game is known for its rebellious take on modern problems such as abuse, plagiarism, and many more along the way. And with a social simulator that makes the characters feel too real, it's kinda nice. Mixing turn-based battles with a social simulator was an interesting choice, but I can't help it anymore. I love it. While the dungeons themselves can have some of the best or worst puzzles to solve, the gameplay is amazing either way. The original's music was already amazing, but they just had to make it even better, with tracks such as I Believe, Prison Neighbor, and Our Light being some of my personal favorites, and the darker tracks like Freedom and Security, A Woman, Ark, and many more. It feels relatable, and that's not a bad thing at all. The style of the game is phenomenal to look at, play with, and it really is the best game for me. I love the message this game brings out. This would be an easy number 1, but there is a promise I must keep. But for now, Xenoblade Chronicles is my second favorite game of all time.
We go in the metaverse, or we call them palaces, to steal the core of their desires, their treasure. And those whose treasure has been stolen have a change of heart.
We're gonna change the hearts of all the bastards like you!
Now is the time to rise against the abyss of distortion, trickster.
I must have gotten y'all real curious. I've opened up a ton of games on this list. All are some of the best games I've ever played. But the curtain still remains. What game could possibly top Final Fantasy VII Remake, Smash Ultimate, Persona 5 Royal? Well, this game hits home for me. A game that hits too close to home, that I have decided that no matter what, I don't care anymore. My mind is clear with the challenge of Celeste Mountain. Here it is, my favorite video game ever created. Celeste may be simply put as just a girl who climbs a mountain, but if you say just that, you're dead wrong. Celeste centers around Madeline who has to conquer her inner self. She doesn't really have a reason as to why she needs to climb the mountain. Rather, it's something that she needs to prove to herself. So, there she goes, off to climb the mountain and help her find her true self. But in awakening, initiative from encountering a mirror creates a part of her that tries to stop her from reaching the summit, constantly telling her that she can't do it. But the evil doppelganger, who's something called Madeline, and Madeline team up and learn about each other as they fight through to the summit. As for the actual gameplay, oh boy. If you're a first timer playing this game, expect a lot. But yet, in the second level, Celeste tells you, the player themselves, that failure is okay. Which, as far as I'm aware of, has never happened in a game ever. Most games say, encouraging quotes, or tell more after the story. Celeste is heartwarming, and despite how I die over and over, I still want to keep playing this no matter what. Look, I know I've said several things about Celeste, but please get it. This is a game that will really change your life. I can honestly say this game gave me a realization of who I am in a way. All my life has been about outrunning my mental illness or getting over it and overcoming it. That's fine and all, but this game suddenly opened my eyes and said that was not the only way to deal with it. You have to be able to understand yourself and your mental symptoms. Listen to it when it speaks to you, but try to work together to overcome your fears, not shove it in a closet and pretend it doesn't exist. I don't exist without my mental illness, and vice versa. So instead of trying to destroy a part of myself, Celeste taught me to try and understand what the other part of me is saying. Acknowledge it, but don't be ruled by it. Listen to its fears and urge it and yourself to be determined. I actually had an epiphany when I played this game. It shifted the actions of my entire life, and definitely in a positive way. I cried when the music for Reach for the Summit played, because it was a track about overcoming your fears and not giving up, implying that the song was cheering you on and saying, you can do it, you will conquer this level. I am now on the final level, 15 hours in, and I'm dying over and over. Yet, every time I die, I want to try again. I do not get salty, I do not get mad, I just want to try again. This game changed me for the better. There are no words to describe how I feel about Celeste. It's a game about conquering yourself and not giving up no matter what. So please, give Celeste the chance it deserves. Because after seeing what Madeline went through with her own struggles, I tried to reach for my summit too. This is Fawful305. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope someday you'll conquer your summit too.